you go. All praise to the Most High, sister. All praise to the Most High. Thank you for coming back and being a woman of your word. There's not too many people that are actually keep to their word and the things they say. I want to read you just a couple Bible scriptures. You said you believe in the Bible, right? You believe in the Most High God. I was asking, like, when is Easter? Because don't none of us know. When is Easter?
What, the Passover is supposed to be on nights and 14?
It's supposed to be when?
Nights and 14.
Hey, all praise to the Most High. Hey, so you're not going to celebrate Easter then?
No, I don't celebrate it.
All praises to the Most High. Right. All praises to the Most High. So, what's your nationality? That's
Black.
You're black? All right. So now, why would you? Let me ask you this: why would you be celebrating the Passover and not Easter? Why do you celebrate the Passover?
Easter has, people believe that Easter has pagan origins, so it's not really the same thing. It's actually, another celebration or ceremony that's not really related to the actual death of the Son of the Most High.
All right, all praises to the Most High, right? Easter don't have nothing to do with the Most High or His Son, right? None at all. So now you said that you're black, right? Is black a nationality? So what would your nationality be?
I'm American.
You're American, all right? So because you was born over here in America? Mm-hmm. All right. So now, in fact, let's give me Deuteronomy. Let me just jump straight to the point because I want to get this to you. Because we all used to call ourselves black or Americans or African Americans or whatever, not knowing who we actually are. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4. Read that first.
17 and 4.
Yeah, Jeremiah 17 and 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17. In verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage, and I have given thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemy in the land which thou knowest not.
Right, so there's a people that's been discontinued from their heritage, right? Because they didn't listen to the Most High God. And so I want to line all of this up because we now over here in America, we call ourselves American, right? But our forefathers were brought here. They wasn't calling themselves American before they got brought here as slaves. So the people that was brought over here as slaves, they actually was discontinued from their heritage, right? So we all now carry slave last names, right? Even our first names. So my government name is Michael, right? That's an English name. That's an American name. My forefathers wouldn't have named me that, right? If my forefathers had named me, my name would be Maya Collar. It wouldn't be Michael, right? The name Alexander, that's my government last name. I would not be carrying that name. That's the slave master's last name. So our people were discontinued from their heritage, right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. This is right after he went into Egypt, right after he went in to Pharaoh, let my people go. You familiar with that story, right? Because that's the time of the Passover, when there was the first Passover, and he brought the children of Israel through the Red Sea, or the Most High did it, brought them through the Red Sea. He's speaking to the children of Israel now out in the wilderness. He said, look, if you guys listen to the Most High God, you're going to be put on high above all nations that's on the face of the earth, right? Go to verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses...
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if the children of Israel didn't listen to the Most High God, they were going to be cursed instead of being blessed, right? So you had life and you had death, All right, the Most High gave them two choices. You can listen or you cannot listen, right? And we're going to see that the children of Israel, actually, when you read your Bible, you know that the children of Israel didn't listen, right? Jeremiah asked the question. He said, is Israel just a homeborn slave? Because all they do is go into slavery, in captivity. One captivity to the next captivity, right? Go to verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So the curses are going to be upon the children of Israel for a sign, right? What is a sign? A sign lets you know what something is, right? You know that this is Walmart because of the Walmart sign. I know this ain't Target, right? This is Walmart. So the curses are a sign on the children of Israel. Keep reading.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And it said it was going to be upon thy seed forever. So upon their children, their children, their children, and so forth. Forever. Because forever, it ain't no end date, right? So these curses are a sign upon the children of Israel forever to show you, hey, these are the children of Israel. Even though they was discontinued from their heritage, we can go back and look at the signs and be like, oh, this are the children of Israel, right? So we're going to look at one sign in particular. I want you to give me Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. We're going to look at one sign in particular because I don't want to take up all your time. Go to verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord...
Hold that. Get Exodus 20 and 2.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
It said, and the Lord is going to take the children of Israel back into Egypt again with ships. Now, you know, when they came out of Egypt the first time, how'd they get out of Egypt? They walked out of Egypt, right? So they ain't get on no boat. They ain't get on no ship. They walked out. Why they got to go back into Egypt with ships, right? Let's make it make sense. Read what you holding.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with bondage. So when he said, I'm going to take you back into Egypt, they knew what he was talking about, right? He's not talking about taking them back in the physical, the location Egypt again, because the children of Israel never went back to Egypt. When they got delivered, they never went back. So what is he talking about? We placed Egypt with bondage.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again with ships.
What people went into bondage on ships? We did, right? The so-called Africans came into, the transatlantic slave trade. Our people went into slavery on ships and we was taken throughout the world, right? Through the four corners of the earth, we were scattered. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
We was going to be sold to who?
Unto your enemies.
Come on.
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
Slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
When it say buy you, it's just talking about no man is going to get you out of the condition that I'm taking you into. And I tell people all the time that really technically our people as a whole, we're still in slavery. Why are we still in slavery? After the emancipation in 1865, what did they do? Right? You had the ratification of the Constitution, right, where they came out with the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment says that slavery is abolished except for if you're in prison. After the 1865, what did they do? They started enacting slave codes. They started with vagrancy laws, right? After that, you start seeing what? The institution of chain gangs, where our people are picked up off the street, taken into prison, right, thrown into jail. They still put the shackles on our legs. They still had us out there working, still actually being slaves, where they didn't have to pay us no wages, right? We were still technically slaves. Even today, you know, there's a prison, what's it called, Angola? You know, the prisoners in Angola still pick cotton. You know that there's a prison in Texas where the prisoners still pick cotton, right? So we still, as a people, we still in slavery, right? We've never left slavery, right? Yeah, you have some of us that think we're free, or we have the illusion of freedom, but we're really not free, right? So he said, no man is going to be able to get you out of that. So we've had Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Farrakhan. We've had all the Black Panthers, Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, Marcus Garvey. We've had all these men come along that try to get us out of the conditions that we're in. And no, Jesse Jackson. All these men done come along, and yet and still, we're still what? We're still being persecuted. We're still being shot down in the streets. Not just the men, the women also too, right? You got Sandra Bland. What's the other sister name? That got shot through her window. Breonna Taylor. You got all this that's still happening to our people today. You got George Floyd, who had the man kneeling on his neck. The man sitting up there crying out. The man cried for his mama. This is the grown man that's crying out for his mama because he got another man sitting on his neck, right? We as a people are still being persecuted. So the Most High God said that this was going to be a curse on the children of Israel, right? First we read that we was going to be discontinued from our heritage, right? Because we kindled a fire in the Most High's anger, and he said, I'm going to cut you off, right? And you're going to be sold to your enemies. In Deuteronomy, it said that this happening was going to be a curse, and that it was going to be a sign to show us who we are as a people, because we forgot who we were, right? How do I know we forgot? Read what you got.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30.
Come on.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Hard-headed. They say, hey, y'all not going to listen because y'all hard-headed. Read.
But in the land of their captivity.
In the land of where?
In the land of their captivity.
Come on.
They shall remember themselves.
It said in the land of their captivities, they're going to remember themselves. They're going to remember who they are in the land of their captivities. Where are we at right now? We're in the United States of America, right? In the land of our captivity. Why is this the land of our captivity? Because our people was brought here as slaves, right? This was not our land. We were brought here as slaves. So technically, even though I was born free, these brothers was born free, you was born free, you was born over here, this brother was born over here, these sisters was born here, this brother was born here, even though we all was born here, and our daddy and they daddy, right, was born over here, they fathers was brought over here as slaves. So we're really prisoners of war, right? We are prisoners of war that's still stuck in the land of our captivity. And because of the 13th Amendment, and because they took a lot of our people and threw them into jail, a lot of our brothers can't even leave this country if they want to, because they can't get no passport, because they felons. And so are we free? We can't leave, right? Then we got to go and we got to ask permission. Can I get a visa? Can I get a passport, right? To be able to give permission, to be granted permission to leave. How are we free if we got to get permission to leave, right? We got to be allowed to leave. So my sister, the only reason why I went through all those scriptures, right, is to show you what your true nationality is according to the Bible. And that we as a people, we got to stop calling ourselves colors of a crayon box. Because you far from black. I'm not black. I'm dark skinned. This brother's dark skinned. This brother's dark skinned. We brown, right? A crime, right? Darker shades of brown. And it was a group, was it a lighter shade of brown, right? But we not black though. That's the whole point. And so we've let our enemy, because the Bible says that's who we were sold to. We let our enemy give us the definition or give us the identity. We let our enemy give us our identity. You guys are black, and now we start calling ourselves our black. Or you guys are Negro, so now we're calling ourselves Negro. Or you African American, right? So now we're yeah, I'm African American, right? But what was we calling ourselves before that? Before that, we was calling ourselves Israelites, the greatest people that's on the face of the earth. Get Deuteronomy 7.
Can I get
Yep.
Can we get 37? I'm going to bring out 37. This is another curse. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword amongst all the nations where the Lord shall lead thee.
Yep.
So, basis what he bringing out, proverbs and bywords. We've been called black at one point, African American, Negro, Afro American, and
nigger,
Negro. And, the sayings that they always put on our people, black people like watermelon.
Hey, what Biden just do? What did Biden just do?
He said, you're not black, you don't.
No, I'm not talking about that. He just sat down with a so-called black family and had fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. elevator can raise a black family better than a black man. Them are all proverbs and bywords that's been placed on our people. That's that sign he was talking about for us to let us know who we're going to be in the last days.
What's the proverb? Put something in the book. If you want to hide something from a nigga, what do? You put it in the book. That's a proverb, right? The Bible said, hey, we was going to become a proverb and a byword amongst all these nations, right? And so, again, in these last days, do you believe that we're living in the last days? Yeah. Right? So in these last days, the Bible also said, well, one, it said that we was going to wake up in the land of our captivity. But the Bible also said that knowledge is going to run to and fro. It said knowledge will be increased. Right? And so when it's talking about knowledge being increased, it's not talking about like electric cars or things like that. It's talking about the knowledge of this Bible. Right? And in fact, get Hosea 4:6, and then I want you to get me Malachi 2:7.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Right, it said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Right? What is knowledge? Read that.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Right, this is what we should be getting from the priest. When our people go into church, right? When they go into church on Sundays, this is what the pastors is supposed to be telling them. The pastors is supposed to be teaching our people knowledge, right? But what is happening? The pastors is teaching our people everything but knowledge. What is the knowledge that they're supposed to teach?
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Right, so the priest is supposed to be teaching our people the laws of God. They're not doing it. The pastors aren't doing that. The pastors are not telling our people, don't keep Easter, keep Passover. They're not doing it. Right? Are our people being taught to keep Passover? Like you just said, on the 14th day of Nisan, our people are not being given that information. I was surprised that, you blew my mind when you said that. I was like, man, all praise to the Most High. Right? Because 99% of our people that walk by is not going to know that information. Who taught you that? Can I ask you?
My family is Jehovah's Witness.
Your family is Jehovah's Witness? Okay. All right. Well, and so they keep Passover.
Yeah.
All praise to the Most High. All right. So now, watch this. The priest is supposed to keep knowledge, right? The people are supposed to be able to seek the law at his lips. But what's happened? Read that again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
We're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, which knowledge is the law of God, right? Because our people don't know the law of God. Keeping Passover, that's the law. We're supposed to, that's the holy convocation that the Most High God has ordained for the people of Israel to keep, right? But they're not keeping it. So our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Read on.
I will also reject thee, Salakia. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Because our people reject the knowledge. When we come out and we try to tell our people stop keeping Easter, right? They reject it. It's for the kids. It's all fun. It's something for the kids to do, right? Because they reject the knowledge. The Most High God said, I'm going to reject you. Keep reading.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten me, Salakia, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Right? And so now, going back to, I want to bring everything full circle, right? Because I asked initially about your nationality, and you said that you're black, right? But according to the Bible, what would you be if we went off that curse? In fact, let's get another curse. Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 54.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. So the Bible said that one of the curses is that the man was going to have an evil eye towards his brother. Now, out of all the nationalities that's on the face of the earth, it's only one nationality that, from the crime that they do against each other, they actually came up with a name for it. Black on black crime.
Black on black crime, right? Do they say anything about white on white crime? They don't. Do they say anything about Asian on Asian crime? They don't. And most crimes is committed, the majority of crimes is committed by people against their own people. White people commit crimes against white people.
At the same rate.
At the same rate. Why don't they call it white on white crime?
Slovakia.
Yep.
And it's widely accepted that we harm each other. We seek out violence toward each other, and we put it in our music, and then they bump that. They even play it at like stadiums for games, and you get what I'm saying? It's promoted to our children, but it's no problem in that.
Right.
This is a curse.
You know what's crazy? Is there was a young man. He was about 13. I'm being liberal with his age. He was probably younger. I said maybe about 11. I asked him, "Hey, is it wrong to tell on somebody? You know, if some forget we was talking about snitching. I forget what we was actually discussing. Oh, yeah. And then I asked him. I said, "Bro, if someone did harmed your mom, if someone killed your mother, would you tell?" He said, "No." I said, "You wouldn't tell? Why not?" He said, "Because I just get my get back." A little 13-year-old said this. Why is a 13-year-old talking about he'll just get his get back? Why wouldn't a 13-year-old be like, "Yeah, I'm going to go tell the police, and hopefully they get arrested. Hopefully they go to jail."
Our kids can't be kids.
Kids can't be kids. I mean, you're already thinking, and that was an extreme case, but our people are out here shooting each other down in these streets on a regular basis. Gang banging.
I got an answer to that question you just gave. It's a curse, though. Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. So they get, like you said, our children are given to other peoples by way of low-key. We happen to work so hard just to provide for ourselves naturally because we're at the bottom of the totem pole, tax bracket, or whatever you want to call it. But we're out of the homes. So now, by way of that, our children are given to another people. But that was also talking about slavery as well, getting sold off and stuff like that. But now they got our minds, you know?
Right. And
so that was another curse. It's all these curses in here, really. I mean, you know, brothers, he can teach you. But it's just, when you read the curses, it's very plain who the children of Israel are because they fit the curses.
Right.
I mean,
give 47.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
Right. So again, and we know that when the so-called blacks was taken into slavery, that they put yokes of iron around their necks, right? So when they was marching them, they had the collars around their neck. If you Google a yoke of iron and look at that, what images is going to get brought up, right? Google, you got it. If you look at that image, you're going to see it on the so-called black man, that yoke of iron. And he said that they was going to put that on our neck till he have destroyed thee. Have you ever heard about the Willie Lynch letters?
Like no other nation. Our nation is the only nation.
You familiar with the Willie Lynch letters? All right. So you know Willie Lynch. He said, "Hey, you implement these tactics, you're going to have these people destroyed for 300 plus years," right? Basically. And that's what's happened to our people. Because of all these tactics, because of what they did to our people in slavery, we've been mentally destroyed. Right. That's why you got men rapping about killing other brothers, killing another brother that look just like them.
Only.
You ever heard of drill music? Yeah. King Von was probably the most famous drill rapper there is. They had beef with brothers who stayed blocks away from them. And they literally killing brothers that stay maybe not even 5 minutes in driving distance. But you gotta watch, every time you leave your house, you gotta come out the house like this. Because the person who lived down the street from you, or the people who live down the street from you, are trying to kill you.
AHOS.